Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tractor Time with Mr. Mick, and I have a pretty nice special tractor here. This is a John Deere 820 diesel that was borrowed to me by a friend of mine, David Ham, to show in this video. I personally do not have a toy 820 John Deere, so this is a very nice toy. Very nice, nicely made John Deere toy. So I'm going to be in the market for an 820 toy. Tonight I have a story for you called The Story of the Bears and the Secret of Spring. It's from the Sunday World Herald in Omaha, Nebraska, May 5th, 1996. I was cleaning and I found an article, and although it doesn't have to do with tractors or farms, it was kind of a cool story, so I'd like to read it to you. The Story of the Bears and the Secret Spring by Amy Friedman. Long, long ago, winter seemed to last forever. Blankets of clouds covered the earth. Snow never stopped falling. The sky was black as coal and the ground was silvery ice. The animals were freezing and starving too. All the four-legged creatures and all the winged creatures and the creatures with scales gathered together for a great council. First they looked around to make sure everyone is there. The bears aren't here, the chipmunks clattered. Where have the bears gone? Not a single bear was anywhere in sight. The bears must have stolen the sun, the wolves howled. We must send a search party to find them. They chose the best trackers among them, fox, wolf, mouse, caribou, and the slithery pike. The party set off to find the bears. After a day of travel, the animals looked up and saw a hole in the sky. The hole was shaped just like a bear. They must be up there, the wolf growled. Let's go. They all leaped through the hole in the sky and began to search for the bears in the upper world. Soon they came to a large blue lake, and on the shore they saw a fire burning brightly. They walked toward the fire and saw a tiny hut. When they peeked inside, they saw two bear cubs huddled together. Fox and Wolf slipped quietly inside. "Hello, little cubs," they said with friendly smiles. "We wondered if we might come inside for a while. Where's your mother?" "Out hunting," said the little cubs. "She's with her friends." The visitors looked around and saw a number of bags hanging from poles in the hut. "What are in the bags?" asked Wolf. "Oh, lots of things," the cubs said. "Rain and wind and frost and sleet." But just then one of the cubs looked at the other. "And other things," the first cub stammered. "What other things?" Fox asked with a sly grin. We're not supposed to talk to strangers." "Oh, we're not strangers," Wolf said. "We're your friends." "Oh, no," they cried. "Mother would punish us if we told her secret." "Why, we won't let her know," said Fox, saddling up to one of the cubs' side. "You must promise you won't tell," said one little cub. "She keeps warmth inside this bag." "I see," said Fox. "And when is your mother coming home?" "Oh, she'll be here soon," said the cubs. "She comes across the lake in her canoe." "Thank you, little bears," said Wolf, who went outside with Fox to tell their friends what they had discovered. The animals came up with a plan to steal the bag that held the warmth. With Mouse on his back, Pike swam as fast as he could toward Mother Bear's canoe. When they reached the beach canoe, Mouse began to gnaw on the paddles. Before long, Mother Bear came lumbering through the woods. Mouse and Pike hid as she pushed the canoe into the water. Mother Bear began to paddle home, not realizing that Mouse and Pike were following behind her. As she neared the shore, she spotted a caribou calmly standing in the open field. As soon as she saw him, she began to paddle faster and faster, but the paddle broke right where the mouse had gnawed it. Mother Bear, drooling with hunger, jumped into the lake and began to swim. "Children," she cried, "come quickly. I have found a caribou for us to eat." The cubs, hearing her mother's voice, dashed out from the hut, and in a moment they were gone. Wolf and Fox slipped into the hut and jerked down the bag from its pole. They lugged it outside, heaving and huffing, for the warmth was very, very, very heavy. Meanwhile, Mother Bear and her cubs chased the poor caribou, but he was as fast as he could be, and he ran straight for the hole in the sky, and he leaped through it before the bears could reach him. At a moment later, the other animals reached the hole, and they leaped in too, pulling the big, heavy bag along with them. Mother Bear and her cubs stood at the edge, looking down, afraid to make the leap. When the animals returned to the world, they tore open the bag, and at once the warmth rushed out and spread like a fan in every direction around the earth. The warmth began to melt the ice and snow. Clouds of steam rose and absorbed the black clouds. And the moment the black clouds opened, the sun shone through. With all the melting water, a flood occurred. It covered the whole world and threatened all the creatures. But there was in those days a great tree that reached high into the sky, almost to the world above. And all the animals climbed to its highest branches and cried to the giant fish in the faraway sea to help save them. When the giant fish heard the animals' plea, he drank and drank and drank, and before long he had swallowed all the water. The sun was shining down with all its might, and it quickly dried up the damp land, and trees began to grow, taller and taller, and they sprouted shiny leaves. Flowers began to bloom, and the whole world was filled with a wonderful fragrance, and the animals rejoiced. "The sun has made spring," they cried. "The sun has brought spring to our world." At last the bears summoned up their courage, and they leapt back to earth. When they arrived, the others had decided to forgive them for their theft, for there was plenty of sunshine and flowers and joy to spread among all the creatures of the earth. It says this tale comes from the Slavey Indians who lived in British Columbia. They were hunters, fishermen, and trappers. The story of the bear and the secret spring.